Have you ever had that feeling lately? Like you're kind of culturally adrift.
Hmm.
There's just so much content, right? More amazing shows, movies, music than ever, supposedly.
Yeah, quality stuff, too. A lot of it.
But still, there's this nagging sense that, I don't know, something vital is missing from pop culture.
Absolutely. It feels oversaturated sometimes, confusing, maybe even a bit boring.
Exactly. And you try to talk to someone, a friend, about a show you loved.
And they've never even heard of it. Blank stare.
Totally. It's a real thing. And it connects to this idea we call monoculture.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because, older generations, people who grew up before the internet, really exploded. They remember it clearly. They often miss that monoculture, that shared experience, where almost everyone was tuned into the same things.
Right.
But if you're younger, maybe a teenager now, the whole concept might seem, alien. It's just not how things work for you.
Because it's not their lived reality.
Exactly. Back then, a huge TV finale, a major news event, almost impossible not to know about.
Definitely. There was a time when everything just felt bigger, more impactful.
Movies were events.
Yeah.
Music seemed to travel further. Pop stars felt, almost mythical.
Larger than life, yeah. We sort of shared this invisible thread, didn't we? Even with strangers.
Took it for granted, probably.
Yeah.
That easy connection through culture.
But now, that thread feels frayed, broken, even.
It does.
So today, that's our mission. We want to explore how we got here, what went wrong, or maybe just change.
And why it changed, yeah.
And also, maybe unpack why, for some people, this shift isn't necessarily a bad thing. Could it actually be good?
It's a nuanced picture.
Absolutely. We're going to take a deep dive into what some people are calling the death of the mainstream.
Okay, so looking back at how entertainment evolved, it's so tightly linked with technology, isn't it?
Completely.
And often, the easier something is to consume, the less impact it seems to have.
That makes sense.
Take movies. Theater attendance in the U.S., it actually peaked way, way back in 1946.
Wow, 1946.
Over 90 million tickets sold every week. That was something like 60% of the entire population going to the movies weekly.
That's staggering. Were the movies just objectively better then?
Probably not objectively better, but there were just fewer options, way fewer.
Okay.
Which naturally made each movie feel much more significant.
So scarcity bred impact. Then TV comes along, right? Shakes things up.
Big time. Yeah, it probably started the slow decline for movie tickets, but it also opened up this whole new universe. Cartoons, sitcoms.
But early TV had its own constraints, didn't it? It wasn't like today.
Oh, absolutely. You were locked into the broadcast schedule. You watched I Love Lucy when it was on, or you missed it.
Or you had to hunt down a rerun in the TV guide.
Yeah.
A physical paper guide.
Exactly. It highlights that scarcity versus today's insane abundance. With just a few channels, the fight for your eyeballs was intense. But it also meant millions, literally millions, were watching the exact same show at the exact same time.
Prime time.
Prime time, at 7 to 10 p.m. slot. A few good shows, maybe. Families watched together.
And then the next day.
It dominated conversation. School hallways, office break rooms, everyone's talking about last night's episode. It created this really powerful, shared human experience.
And music. Music was a huge part of this monoculture too, but in a different way.
Definitely different. For a long time, music was, kind of a luxury.
Yeah, how so?
Well, think about it. Today, you pay, $15 a month?
Something like that, yeah.
And you get access to pretty much every song ever recorded.
Right.
Plus, 100,000 new ones uploaded every single day.
It's insane when you put it like that.
But go back a few decades. That same $15, that bought you one album. One.
And you had to physically go somewhere.
Right. A trip to a record store. And maybe they didn't even have the hot new release in stock. You might have to wait.
That whole experience, the record store itself.
It was more than just a shop, wasn't it? They were like community hubs.
Yeah.
Sometimes artists would even show up, play a few songs.
Wow.
And because you'd spent your actual money, your allowance or paycheck, on that one album.
You listened to it, really listened.
Front to back. Even the songs you didn't immediately love, you'd give them a chance. You'd try to find something you liked.
Trying to get your money's worth.
Exactly. Which fostered this deeper appreciation for the whole thing, the artistry, that physical connection, the effort involved. It made the listening experience richer, more intentional.
And that effort, that investment, it seemed to change the relationship with the artist too.
What do you mean?
Well, access was so limited, right? Maybe you got lyrics printed inside the album.
A rare interview in a magazine, maybe some carefully staged photos.
Yeah, and that scarcity. It created this mystique. Pop stars felt huge, almost untouchable.
Larger than life figures. You hear stories, people fainting when they saw Michael Jackson or the Beatles.
Can you imagine that today, when you can see what your favorite artist had for breakfast on Instagram?
Exactly. That endless access to every tweet, every random thought, it strips away the mystery. It makes them feel,
Less special.
Yeah, less special, more like just another person online.
And because buying every album wasn't feasible for most people.
You relied on the radio, or later, MTV.
Right. You couldn't just instantly pull up your favorite song like now.
You had to wait for it to come on. Patience.
But while you were waiting,
You heard everything else, genres you might never choose yourself. It made you a more sort of well-rounded listener.
and that created common ground.
Totally. You'd go to a school dance, a party, whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone knew the songs. You could all sing along. There was that shared vocabulary.
Which is probably why, even now,
DJs play so much stuff from the 2010s or even earlier. They know the crowd will recognize it. Unlike today, where everyone's listening habits are so fragmented.
So as we're tracing the shift, there's this period, the early 2000s, say 2000 to 2010. A lot of people look back on that as like a golden era, a sweet spot.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. It felt like everything all at once, but somehow still manageable.
Right. Like with movies, there was a rhythm. You knew you'd get 2 or 3 huge summer blockbusters.
Spider-Man, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Dark Knight.
Yeah. And those movies would genuinely dominate the culture for weeks. Everyone was talking about them.
And then the fall, the winter, you'd get the smaller, maybe more artsy films.
Eternal Sunshine, Little Miss Sunshine, stuff like that. They find their audience too.
That predictability, it built this anticipation, a shared cultural calendar almost.
And often you experienced it together. Movie ticket sales peaked again in 2002, right? 1.5 billion tickets.
Yeah, but even if you missed it in the theater, there was the next step.
DVDs and Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. It wasn't just grabbing a movie, it was an outing, a ritual.
Browsing the aisles.
Yeah.
Maybe asking the clerk for a recommendation.
Totally. And sometimes the movie you wanted, all the copies were rented out.
Imagine entertainment being unavailable. That's scarcity.
It created demand. It made finally getting to watch it feel more exciting.
Blockbuster was huge, billions in revenue.
But the key point, I think, is that you and everyone else had this tangible connection. You were actively choosing, engaging your brain, often in a social context.
And TV in the 2000s was kind of similar, wasn't it? Still had that shared element.
Primetime was still a thing.
Yeah.
And MTV, arguably its best era.
Reality TV was exploding.
Yeah, but also some really experimental stuff. Plus MTV too, just playing music videos 24/7.
It felt like a pretty diverse time for mainstream music too. Different genres got played on ATV, on the radio.
It did. And, you know, life felt segmented. You had your school or work life, and then entertainment was mostly in the evening.
We weren't glued to our phones 24/7 waiting for the next ping.
Not like now, no.
So we had this cohesive thing, this shared experience that kind of held things together. But then, crossing into the new millennium, something shifted deeply.
Technology just accelerated like crazy.
Cheaper TVs, bigger TVs, faster internet, cell phones suddenly everywhere.
And ironically, all that tech designed to connect us more.
Started driving us apart into our own little bubbles.
And that really feels like the catalyst, the beginning of the end for monoculture.
It makes you think about convenience, doesn't it? How it changes everything.
DVR was maybe the first big step.
Yeah.
Recording shows, watching whatever. That was basically the start of the streaming mindset.
No longer tied to the schedule.
And that shift just steamrolled the old models. Theaters, DVDs, even regular broadcast TV. They took a massive hit.
And the impact is huge. Streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, all of them. Anything, anywhere, anytime.
But often alone, in your own little world.
Right. So there's no built-in waiting, no shared buzz about a show dropping.
No real urgency to watch anything specific now.
Which leads to the endless scroll. Just browsing, waiting for something to grab you, feeling bored despite infinite choice.
It's a paradox. And music went through something really similar, that erosion of value.
Because access became effortless.
That $15 a month we talked about. Access to everything. 100,000 new songs daily.
It removed all the friction.
Yeah.
The investment.
Exactly. So for the average casual listener, music started to feel almost free. It lost that perceived value because getting it required zero effort.
And instead of seeking things out,
we let the algorithms decide. Feed me something I might like, which means my feed looks totally different from your feed.
Leading to those fragmented listening habits, the reason DJs play old hits.
Precisely. It's the only common ground left sometimes.
And the artist, that mystique.
Poof, gone. Seeing their every mundane thought on social media, it makes them feel less like icons, more like acquaintances you barely know.
So streaming changed viewing, streaming changed listening, but the final nail in the monoculture coffin
has to be the internet itself and social media.
It's weird thinking back to the early internet, though.
It had a certain charm, didn't it? Almost beautiful in a way.
Connecting with random people anywhere in the world felt revolutionary, limitless.
And navigating it felt like exploring. There was friction, things were slow, videos took forever to load.
Buffering.
Right. But that effort, that lack of instant gratification, it somehow made the discoveries feel more earned, more significant.
Now we just expect everything instantly. Total convenience.
And the entertainment industry saw the internet coming, mainly as a threat.
Piracy.
Napster, LimeWire. Suddenly millions are downloading movies, music, TV shows for free.
Bypassing the whole system.
Studios, labels, they lost control. For the first time, the consumer had the power to get content without paying.
Why pay if you can get it instantly, for free?
It wasn't just about being cheap, though. It was a huge signal about convenience. People valued that above almost everything.
They didn't see the value in the old friction.
Exactly. Buying a CD, going to the store, taking a chance on the whole album.
Sitting in a sticky movie theater.
Those things felt like inconveniences, but they are part of a shared reality, a communal experience that's largely vanished.
And then the internet gives everyone a voice. Endless, tailored op. MySpace, 2003. That felt huge.
It exploded. 300 million users by 2005, a $10 billion valuation.
It was about finding your niche, right? Your tribe. Connecting with strangers over shared passion.
It was, but then things shifted. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the focus moved.
From community to what?
To personal branding, maybe? The algorithms weren't designed to connect us broadly. They were designed to keep you engaged.
Feeding you stuff you already like or agree with.
Exactly. So the internet stops being this town square.
And becomes more like a hall of mirrors, reflecting your own tastes, your own biases, back at echo chambers.
And social media. It's kind of stopped being about genuine community for a lot of people.
And became more like a stage.
Yeah, a stage where everyone's the main character of their own story, which can be empowering, sure. But it's arguably shaped a culture that feels, to some, more narcissistic, more divided, maybe more isolated than ever before.
So that feeling, that sense that something's missing, whether it's in movies, TV, music, even just talking to people.
It really is this complex mix of all these different shifts, all these nuances.
And while we're talking about the death of monoculture, we should probably acknowledge shared moments do still happen.
Oh, for sure. They're just rare now. Exceptions, not the rule.
Like Barbenheimer.
Right. Or something like Squid Game that goes global.
But those feel like events that happen every few years, not the constant hum of shared culture we used to have.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, are shows like Yellowstone or White Lotus, even though they're popular, do they really define the era if huge chunks of the population have?
It's the big paradox, isn't it? We wanted to be more connected than ever.
And in pursuing that, we kind of fractured the shared cultural landscape.
But here's the twist. For some people, this fragmentation, this isn't a bad thing at all.
No, for some, it's actually a golden age.
Really? How so?
Well, think about it. If you're maybe more introverted, strong-minded, less worried about fitting into some big mainstream community, this era is fantastic. For decades, if you didn't fit the narrow mold, didn't like the biggest pop star, didn't watch the hit sitcom.
You were kind of invisible. The weird kid, maybe.
Right. But now, the internet offers endless ways to find your people, your niche.
No matter how specific or odd your interest is.
Exactly. There's a community for literally anything. You like, I don't know, wolves eating watermelon.
Is that a thing?
Apparently. Over 61,000 people interested. Or people who staple bread to tree.
Now you're making things up.
Nope. Over 335,000 enthusiasts. The point is, whatever your thing, you can find others where you're not just accepted, you're celebrated.
That's pretty powerful, actually.
And it's also created this huge opportunity for independent creators.
Bypassing the gate.
Totally. Stories, talents that would have been impossible or just ignored in the monoculture era, they can thrive now.
Like who?
An anime artist, maybe mocked in school, can build a whole career online with thousands of fans. A kid messing around with music on a cracked app can go viral, even chart.
A filmmaker with no budget can reach millions on YouTube.
Exactly. Those traditional gatekeepers, the studios, the labels, the publishers, they just have way less power. Independent success is more possible than ever.
So it really is complicated, nuanced.
Definitely.
Personally, I don't feel like drowned by content. I actually enjoy digging for underrated stuff. I'm probably one of those people who gets annoyed when an artist I like gets too popular.
I get that.
But I do miss that shared cultural feeling sometimes, especially in person. Like I'll be out playing golf, try to chat with someone.
The conversation just dies.
Yeah, because culturally we have zero overlap. We're stuck in completely different algorithmic bubbles. It's that real world disconnectedness I notice most.
It connects back to that big picture irony, doesn't it?
Yeah, we chased connection.
And ended up fragmenting the common ground, that feeling of something missing. It's a mix of all these complicated threads.
So it leaves us with a big question, really. In this new world of infinite choice, hyper-personalized feed, what does being well-informed even mean anymore?
That's a tough one.
And maybe more importantly, how much effort are you, the listener, willing to put in to actively shape your own cultural world, to step outside those comfortable echo chambers?
What stands out to you from all this? What resonates?
As something to think about.